So I'm going to add the dialogue in mostly as a whole separate event. And I'm going to put it in that 5-second block, kind of where they're waiting. All right, so that's where we are so far. So let me go to Princess. She's going to be the first one that talks. Let me get them set up where they were. Boom. All right, so we're going to drag out a whole new event. That's how I'm going to handle it. But I'm going to show you how to put the dialogue within, a string that you're already running, because you could do that as well. So here we go. Let's make this quick. So when the flag's clicked, Princess is basically going to say, so a say block is a look. It's a purple looks block. So it'll put the speech bubble over her head. So she will say, I am going up to bed. Okay. Now, if I run that, it's going to happen right away. I kind of want that just to wait maybe 1 second. So we'll go to those control blocks. We'll drag out a wait. Let's make her wait 1 second before she has the little say bubble. Here she goes. 1, perfect. Now, I also want her to speak that out loud. So you have to add the text-to-speech blocks. Probably most of you haven't used these yet. They've been around for a couple years. So to add these new blocks, it's an extension. So you have to go look for all the different color balls here, all the different color categories. Go way down to the bottom corner, and you will see the add extension. This is also in the tutorial. So you click way down here, and there's different extensions you can add. We will add the text-to-speech. So this is a bit newer. So we'll add the text-to-speech to make your projects talk. So all you do is click on it. When you add them, down here below variables and my blocks, you will see the text-to-speech blocks are added. So there's 3 of them. There's the speak block, which actually makes the sound, the text will get turned into speech through your speaker. So let's add that in. Let's see what it looks like. Now you don't have to retype. You can do a Control-C to copy. So Control-C on my keyboard. I'm going to go down here, get rid of hello, and Control-V to paste. All right, let's just see what that looks like. And this would probably be fun.
I am going up to bed.
Okay, so that looks fun. But I'm going to show you, because sometimes it doesn't work out as well. You could also handle this as a whole separate event as well. So some kids really, and I'm the same, you really want them to run at the exact same time. So you could handle the speak bubbles as a whole separate event. So once you get really good at moving things around on the screen, it becomes easy. So now we can make sure that as soon as I click the flag, there'll be a 1 second wait. And at the same time, she'll have a speech bubble that says I'm going up to bed, and then the voice will match. So let's run that. Ready? Boom.
I am going up to bed.
Good. So that's working pretty well. So basically, we're going to handle the same thing with Dragon. Now, if you know how to copy the blocks over, you can just copy these blocks over to the Dragon, and we'll just change them up a bit. If not, it's not a real big deal just to rebuild 6 blocks. But I'm going to try to show you how to do this. Sometimes it's a little tricky. So you just grab it, hold on to it, drag it down to the spray pane, and when the Dragon wiggles, you drop it. Let me see if that copied over. Okay, there it is. So I copied that over. And I will also copy over the code here. So I'm going to drag over that say block as well. So it just saves you recopying the code. So let me see if I can get it on there. Let's check on Dragon. All right, there they go. All right, so now Dragon, let me see if you can see this. Dragon is going to say, I will guard the castle. I will guard the castle. And again, you don't have to retype it over here. You can just delete, click, Control-C to copy, bring it over, Control-V to paste. So that saves you a bit of time. All right, let's just look at this and see. We always got to just test and then see what's right, what's wrong, and make some changes. So here we go.
I am going up to bed.
All right, so they're doing it at the exact same time. So I don't want them to speak over top of each other. I want Princess to talk first. She's waiting 1 second until she talks. So I'm going to maybe make the Dragon wait 3 seconds until he talks. There's a lot of logic involved. There's a lot of just trying some code, testing it, observing it, and making changes. Now I'm going to show you one other thing here. So ready?
I am going up to bed.
I will guard the castle.
All right, that looks perfect. Now, I was playing this before, so I already set the voices for the princess and dragon. So I want to make sure you see how to do that. You're going to need to do this on your own. So you're going to head to the text-to-speech blocks that we just added. And notice, we use the speak block. If you want to have different voices, you really do have to set the voice before they speak. So let me show you. Alto is like a female voice.
I will guard the castle.
And you can test them. Tenor is a male voice.
I will guard the castle.
And there's squeak.
I will guard the castle.
And I like to use giant for the dragon.
I will guard the castle.
Right. So this is giant. I'm going to leave the dragon on the giant voice. And then princess, I'm going to have her speak in the alto voice. So you probably did hear that, but that's only because I was messing with it before I made this recording. So you will need to drag these in. Hey, if you want to give your sprites an accent, you could even have all different languages are in here. I mean, you could have them have a Spanish accent. Let's see what that sounds like. I'll have her have a Spanish accent. Ready?
I am going up to bed. I am going up to bed.
So if you wanted to actually, code in another language, you could definitely do that by going to Google Translate. If you've never used Google Translate, it's so easy. You just type what you want to say, click on what language you want to translate to, and it translates for you. Then you can copy and paste that into Scratch. So you could have characters speaking in full other languages if you want to do that using Google Translate. All right, we're almost done.
I am going up to bed.
Y will guardar the castle.
Oh my goodness, they're both in a Spanish accent now. So since I did that, I'm going to need to set them back to English. So let me set them both back to an English accent. It is kind of fun, though, if you want to give them like different accents. Maybe Dragon could have a Spanish accent.
I am going up to bed.
I will guard the castle.
All right, one last thing I'm going to do. When she gets right about here, so once she climbs this first flight of steps, I'm just going to have her say goodnight. I'm going to do that just in a really quick way. I'm going to just put the speak and say blocks right in this main, script of code in this event right here. So let me just click this so you say, this is what's making her glide around. You can see all the motion blocks and we're almost done. So here she's gliding to the first spot. She's waiting 5 seconds. She's gliding and right about there. I think right when she switches to costume left. Let me see if I have this right. Let me look at that again. 1,
I am going up to bed.
2,
I will guard
3,
the castle.
4, 5. Let me see. I think her code's messed up. Turning. Okay. So I needed to make her turn back again. I must have messed with that. All right. So now her back will turn again when she goes up the steps.
I am going up to
Okay,
bed.
so she's facing
I
forward.
will guard the castle.
Now she's going to turn backwards. Turn backwards. Then she has to turn sideways. So princess left. Sorry about that. I must have changed up the code. So
I
here
am
we go.
going up to bed.
I will guard the castle.
So her back's going to turn. What is going on? Hold on, give me 1 second. So her princess is going to turn back. Then she's going to turn to the left. Sorry, I had this working and then I was messing with it. And then I'm going to have her turn to the back again. But the point being, as she gets to that first flight of steps, I'm just going to kind of recall back, good night. And I'm going to put it right in the
I am going up to bed.
I will guard the castle.
Okay, watching princess, back, left, back. All right, now the animation's working again. So I know my code well. So I know I'm going to have her kind of say goodnight right here before her back turns again. And I'm just going to put it right in this string of code. It'll be fine. So I'm going to have her say goodnight. And I'll even have her speak goodnight. But I want you to notice the speak is going to come just a second after the say block. And we have control over that. I mean, we could run a whole separate event, but it'll be fine. I don't think we need to. So copy, paste. Hopefully that's finished. Let me go full screen and we'll see. If not, we'll fix it up. Ready?
I am going up to bed.
I will guard the castle.
You know, he's going to fly away and hopefully she'll say goodnight.
Good night.
So that worked out fine. So I didn't have to run these two blocks parallel. It looked fine. You could pull this out, run it as a whole separate event, and time them so they come at the exact same time. But you don't always have to do that. Sometimes it works out just fine. So just know it's an option, you know, to run it as a whole separate event, but sometimes you can just build the code right in. All right, so for the points today, there needs to be at least 6 dialogue blocks. So you need a combination of at least 6 speak and say blocks. So these are the 2 dialogue blocks. You'll need at least 6 of them. Just have a little bit of dialogue. So that's worth 1 of the points. You have to use at least 1 speak block. That's worth a point. And you have to use at least 1 say block. So you can look at your grading sheet. I got all 6 points. All right, guys, good luck.